Hey there, today I thought I would just share a little bit about my dowsing story and how I got into dowsing. And a lot of people don't even know what dowsing is, but it's a way for us to detect energy in our environment that may be disruptive, so we can work with it to help us feel better in our homes and our businesses. But my story goes all the way back to 2014, and I met my friend who was teaching dowsing classes, and I was very drawn to it right away. And I signed up, and before I even started classes, she had invited me to come over to douse one of our mutual friends' house. And I ended up getting there before she did. And I was, kind of walking through the house, and all of a sudden I got to this place in the dining room, and I just felt this powerful, like uplifted blast of energy, and it felt really good. And I said to my friend, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling just some really powerful energy right here. I don't know what it is, but I said, don't tell our friend when she gets here that, I said that. We'll just see what she finds as she douses your house. Well, she shows up and she said, I know you haven't gone through the dowsing class yet, but here, take one of my dowsing rods and just see what happens. Just kind of play with it and kind of be behind me as I'm going through the dowsing, and just see what shows up, just for fun. So as she was dowsing, she ended up going over to that exact spot that I was standing in, and her dowsing rods was spinning and spinning, and it was a positive vortex right in that spot that I was standing in. So I already had this sense, this feel, like without a dowsing rod in my hand, I could feel and sense the energy. And then later on, we were outside looking for geopathic stress lines. And before she was asking where they were, I was behind her, kind of a few seconds ahead of her, going, okay, show me where it is. And my dowsing rod would turn towards it, and then she'd do it. And keep in mind, I was behind her and she hadn't hit it yet. And then she would do it. And every time, all 5 of those that we did, I would hit it first, and then she would go, and it would be in the exact same spot that my dowsing rod was pointing. And so I was like, I feel like I know this already. It just feels innate in me. And one of my mentors had done a reading on me, and she validated and clarified. She goes, yes, you were a dowser in a past life, so you do have it in your field. But here's the trippy part. This one blew my mind. So after I went through the training, went through the class, I was asking some of my family members if I could douse their homes for practice. So of course I asked my parents, I asked my mom. She's like, yeah, that's fine. I don't know what this is, but just come over, that's fine. And so I was sitting in the living room talking with her, and I had my dowsing rods in the kitchen on this little desk area. And my dad walks in, and I hear him say in the kitchen, oh, whose dowsing rods are these? They look just like mine. And I said, what? What did you say? And my dad was in construction for years. And I said, time out. What? I don't understand what just came out of your mouth. And he said, yeah, I made my own dowsing rods. And back when he used to work in Louisiana, he said that he would use them because they'd have to get these locators to come in and look for like underground pipes or wires or different things that were buried under the ground that they had to locate before they started excavating and digging. But it would take a couple days to get the locators in, so he made his own dowsing rods, and he would go and douse, and they would open right where he got, and then he'd dig, and sure enough, he'd find what he was looking for. And he said that all of the guys on the job thought he was kooky and crazy, and he didn't care because he always found them with his dowsing rods. And I said, who taught you how to douse? And he kind of sat, and he's like, I don't even remember. And it just blew my mind. So my point is, my dad doused in the construction industry years ago. I felt called to dowsing and did the training. And then my oldest daughter, ended up training and going through the dowsing program as well. So there's dowsing in my family, 3 generations. So I just thought I'd share a little bit about how I got into dowsing, and it definitely called me, and it's in my family, which just blows my mind still to this day. But I love dowsing so much, and I feel that it's a beautiful way to energetically balance your environment, your space, your home, your place of work, to help support you. So that's my dowsing story, and I just thought I'd share. All right, bye for now.